Hungary has launched a scathing diplomatic attack on Ukraine, with Prime Minister Viktor Orbán declaring that Ukrainians cannot dictate Hungarian opinions, especially on the question of EU membership. Orbán said Hungarians have already voted, and the answer is no. Orbán warned that if referendums were held across the European Union, the result would mirror Hungary's rejection.
It's time for the Ukrainian president to understand that he cannot tell Hungarians what their opinion should be. Hungary is the first country to have held a referendum on Ukraine's EU membership. Zelensky and the Brusselian bureaucrats must acknowledge that if referendums are held in the rest of the EU, the result will be the same as in Hungary. Europeans do not want to admit war into the Union.
Orbán replied to President Volodymyr Zelensky that he met with EU leaders Ursula von der Leyen and Antonio Costa. He welcomed a new $2 billion support package and reiterated Ukraine's readiness to open all negotiating clusters for EU membership, despite Hungary's veto. Zelensky wrote, "I held an important meeting with President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen and President of the European Council Antonio Costa, discussed Ukraine's European integration. We are ready to open all negotiating clusters during Denmark's presidency of the EU Council. To do this, a solution must be found to overcome Hungary's veto." Tensions flared further when Balázs Orbán, a top aide to the Prime Minister, claimed a Hungarian man died after being savagely beaten by Ukrainian conscription officers. He was reportedly dragged into a van, assaulted with iron rods, and later died from his injuries. Ukraine's embassy in Budapest strongly denied the accusations, rejecting any claims of forced conscription or abuse. It said the government is open to a transparent investigation into the incident.
We categorically reject any allegations of forced conscription, mistreatment, or human rights violations committed by any Ukrainian military officials, the statement said, adding that Ukraine is open to a transparent investigation.
All this unfolds as Russia escalates military pressure. Moscow launched fresh Iskander missile strikes on Ukraine and paraded Yars nuclear missiles across Russian territory, heightening fears of further destabilization in Eastern Europe.